Let's take a look at Tesla's recovery today. Tesla is up $11.48, 4.69%, closed at $256.49. Post-market, we are down by 20 cents. Let's look at what this looks like on the chart. So yes, we all remember last Friday. So last Friday, we had a big drop of the stock price. But the stock price still maintained itself above 240.89. It did not go lower. All in all, last week, towards the end of the week, people were still buying Tesla stock higher than when they were the week before. We had a little bit of a longer wick at the bottom here, and it was showing that buyers were coming in a little bit. So now they came in pretty big today. So we closed above a previous resistance at 255.23. And we are also back into our bullish channel. This is the rate of increase, and we are back into it. Let's go take a look at the 1 hour chart to understand a little bit more how this all played out today. We saw on Friday that we had a little bit of a bounce. At 1:30 last Friday, we had the move down that was above 240.89. It was even above 242.05. We stopped pretty much at the same place at 2:30 last Friday, and then we started to go back. But we did not have stochastic over 60 at all. We did not see any impulse yet. But today we had a big impulse. The first hour of the day, we opened at 244.98 and the high was at 253. So we broke 250, which is a previous congestion zone that started August 29th down to August 1st. And we just got it back on the first hour. Boom, it was back. Then because we had this big candle move, stochastic, it takes a little bit of a while. This is a 21-day stochastic or 21 candle stochastic. So on this 1 hour chart, the stochastic looks at 21 candle before making a decision. Because we have one big, huge candle, we did not get stochastic over 60 at that point exactly. Then the second candle, we did not get stochastic over 60 and we only got it after the candle closed at 12:30 and we were already above 255.23. Just keep in mind that our indicators right here are lagging indicators. And sometimes if you want to jump the gun, it's okay to jump the gun. The indicators are there to give us an idea of the movements that are happening to see if it's a significant movement. But when a stock moves super high, super fast, of course, not all indicators are going to catch up as quick as we would like them to. But all in all, we are back pretty much where we were last Wednesday. We are back into our congestion zone that we were last Wednesday. We can see that RSI is still a little bit lower than where we were last Wednesday. RSI is using a 14 candle average. Maybe this is why it's not up to par yet. So we are going to see tomorrow if we can maintain 255.23 and possibly start breaking 260.25. If we break 260.25, it would be a good sign. If we are getting back to 250, then this is just part of the bigger congestion zone. I would not worry too much. But if we go lower than 250 again, this would be a little bit disappointing. Let's go back to the daily chart. So on the daily chart, in terms of our indicators, so stochastic is at 90. So we had plunged on Friday at 62. It was still below 60. So it was still technically bullish. Friday was still technically bullish. We were above 240.89. We still had stochastic. We were pretty much outside of this bullish channel. This was one strike, but now today, stochastic is very reactive. Stochastic is at 90. This is great. We still have the MACD crossovers. We have the green line above the red line. We had RSI fade. We are getting this one back. And the DMI still need a little bit more convincing to do. This is a great day for Tesla. Let's hope that it continues this week and that we can try to test this big downward resistance right here, because Tesla is still, depending on the time frame that you are looking at and depending on your point of reference, Tesla is still in a big downward trend. Short term, we are in a bullish trend right here. Medium term, we are still in a bullish trend right here. We need to make a distinction between everything that's happening. Let's take a look at the VIX. So VIX is up 0.18. That's 1.3%. So VIX is bouncing a little bit. Did not get as low as 1264. We had a nice run down last week. So we have a little bit of a move up, nothing critical, but let's just keep an eye on this if it continues. Rivian is having just a little bit of a hard time breaking 2359. If we can break that, it would be bullish because it would mean that we would be outside of our congestion zone right here. We just got stochastic over 60. Things are showing up a little bit. We still have this downward resistance. So even if we break 2359, it's not like we are off to the races because we still have this downward resistance that can hinder our move up. We need to be careful about this. Xpeng, it's still going sideways, so 0.21%. It's trying though. You see how it tries? It goes up, but then sellers come in and squish it down. The tug of war is even Steven between the buyers and the sellers. We see the buyers come in and we see the sellers come in. So who is going to last longer? Nobody knows. NEO, the same thing. This is just going sideways, 1.73%. VinFast, just for fun, this is still going down 11% today. Palantir, it's still going sideways. There's nothing to do until we break 16 with a good stochastic. Let's just keep an eye on this one. Nvidia, still above 479.22. This is pretty much even Steven today. We still have a good stochastic. We still have force in that stock, but that force is not translating into movement yet. It's like when you are applying force to an object that is stopped. If it's stopped and you're applying force, it does not necessarily move. It has inertia, and when that inertia changes, then it's going to start going. Let's take a look at our indices a little bit. So Q is up 0.13, so a very slow day, but we are bouncing on our downward channel support. So bouncing on support is nice, and we still have a good stochastic, so there's still hope. Dow Jones, we don't have stochastics, so there's no hope there. There's not much hope. The hopes are the support lines, and we have lost one, and we still have another one. So let's see what happens this week. S&P 500 is still pulling back a little bit. It's down 0.42%. We are still above 44.54. NASDAQ, look at this. This is why these downward diagonal resistances are important, because the stock tend to cave because of them. So we caved again here. We caved on Friday. We caved in because of this. We still have a good stochastic, so we might try again. U.S. Treasury bonds finding their way up a little bit. So we are up 0.14%. Gold, we have a 1% drop. We could not maintain 1508. This was good. This was looking good, but as soon as you enter, you need to have an exit, and that exit was below 1508, and it should have been triggered. Silver, also big drop. The same thing here. This was pretty bullish right here above 841, but when it drops down, you need to change your mind very quickly. Bitcoin is just going sideways. XRP is just going sideways, but it seems to be bouncing. We have the last 4 or 5 days where it's not going lower. It's not going lower than 0.50, so that's pretty positive. USDX broke 103.580. This is another impulse move. We'll see how long this lasts. And we have a little bit of a move on Neo Battery Material. It has received its first purchase order for its silicon material. I don't think the factory is all built yet, but I think that the backlog is slowly filling up. This is the first purchase order, so maybe these purchase order news are going to make the stock move. If it moves above 40 cents and maintains there, then I would consider this a buy signal. So thanks very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.